It is Austin Andrews here, and I'm riding out to the school to pick up my 6-year-old son. And I thought while I'm riding around, I may talk about something here that's a pretty common thing that parents deal with who have ADHD children, especially those who are hyperactive and impulsive. And often those kind of behaviors really cause us parents to get really exasperated and frustrated, and it's so easy for us just to fly off the handle, and with our own demands of stop, quit, stop that, stop doing, or whatever. And a lot of times that's not the way we need to act. I mean, sometimes it's appropriate, but most of the time it's very important for us to stay in a positive frame of mind when we're dealing with our kids this way. Because typically, children who are hyperactive or impulsive, typically receive a lot of negative responses from others, especially adults who maybe don't have the patience or just lose their cool with these kids because they want their behavior to immediately improve. So, and often the child is unsure of why this adult is mad at them, and often they can't explain what they've done wrong, to make the adult upset. So instead of losing your cool, let me just preface this by saying, yes, sometimes I lose my cool with my children as well. So, but I usually try to, maintain a cool head here. And something that I've found that works pretty well is, instead of losing your cool and reacting with negative behavior of my own, one thing that's been helpful is to write the behavior down, the specific thing that my child's doing, and make a chart where the behaviors are reinforced and targeted. And this can be done at school too, where you target specific behaviors at home and school that are addressed. And that way it's a team effort between you as a parent and your child's teacher, and this will provide routine, structure, and goals that your child can work towards. So that's been very, very helpful with me. So that may be something you want to really keep in mind. And most kids will respond really, really well to structured goals which are consistently reinforced. And positive consequences are a vitally important part of this as well. Now, I know we often, in some cases it is okay, you're going to raise your voice. Sometimes it's appropriate, but usually it's appropriate and useful when it's paired with positive consequences, such as verbal praise, encouragement, and earning rewards for when the child does what they're supposed to do on a consistent basis. So you might want to try to keep those in mind. And one final thing that I've found to really work well is to begin teaching your child to quote unquote think about it, when developing conscious alternatives to these poor choices they may be making to get in trouble. So, and if you're working with your child and you anticipate that they're going to get into something they're really not supposed to do or act on an impulse, if you can, catch them as often as possible and tell them to think about it. Think about what the consequences are going to be. Is this a good idea or not? What's going to happen if I carry this behavior out? So, and that is something that can be taught. And gradually, over time, as the child matures, they're going to learn how to respond to this, and they're going to learn, hopefully, how to manage that on their own a little bit better, and learn to get in the habit of thinking about it more often. So these are just a few ideas that have worked really well with my own children, and I've offered it to some other parents and teachers where I work. So I want to encourage you all to check out our website, adhdanswers.org. It's full of great ideas. Check out our blog. And we also would like for you to feel free to sign up for our newsletter. It's a weekly newsletter that's full of tips and ideas and very useful and strategies that are very practical, easy to implement, and things that we believe that will help you see an immediate difference in managing your child's ADHD behaviors. So thanks again for checking out our video here, and I wish you the very best with these tips, and we'll see you next time.